Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Tammy DiTomaso. I'm part of the iWin team. I'm one of the realtors on the team. Just recently, we had our May iWin monthly meeting. And my colleague, Tim, and myself had done a presentation based on giving you guys a market update. So we just wanted to go over a little bit of what we talked about on that day, just to give you guys a little bit of info there of what we had discussed. So one of the big things that we're discussing right now, my big headline really is the interest rates are up, so don't buy property, right? Well, that's what it feels like everybody is thinking and what a lot of people are doing. And we just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison to let you know, looking at the numbers of what it was like to what it's like now, and really putting those into perspective. So I'm just going to show you a slide here, just to kind of give you a basic idea. In Hamilton, legal duplexes on the Hamilton Mountain at the peak, so January, February of 2022, we were seeing the legal duplexes selling. They went million, 1.1, 1.2, and we even saw 1.3. And the interest rates at the time were about 2%. So if I put into our cash flow calculator, and again, it was just very basic, just so I can do, apples to apples, take a look at it. So if I did it in our cash flow calculator, I put in $1.2 million purchase. I put our rents coming in are $4,200 a month, for example, whatever number you want to put in at that time, 20% down payment, and then we did a 2% interest rate with property taxes, insurance. Those numbers I left them the same for both comparisons. Your cash flow is about almost $250 a month, as an example, okay? And then if you go ahead and you look at some of the prices that we're seeing the legal duplexes selling now, which the prices have come down quite significantly, you would see that they're selling, let's say, for around $950,000. And I said same rents, because we're certainly seeing those rents and we're going to see those increase, where we often do see those increase every year. And then I put it at 3.5% interest rate. Your cash flow on that is actually just over $380 a month. So, you kind of have to step back. I know it's not all the moon and the stars, and everything is not perfect, and we're in this for the long haul, and I get that. But if you look at when everyone was buying at the peak with the lower interest rates, where now you see people, or the prices have come down and the interest rates have come up, you're actually still in a really good position. Some might even say a little bit better. I think it's just a really hard thing for everyone to wrap their head around. So again, just, putting them side by side. If you want, call us, talk to us. We can go through this cash flow calculator with you. But we really wanted to break it down because a lot of people aren't sitting back and just doing the difference of the math of the money you're saving on the purchase price compared to what we're seeing with the increase on the interest rates. And then don't forget that the rents, typically, I'd say what we've been seeing on average is the rents going up about $100 a month every year. And I know when COVID first happened, we had a little bit of a stall, but then we made up for that afterwards. In a market where we see higher interest rates, a lot of less buyers out there, our rentals become much stronger. We're seeing more tenants wanting to rent. We see them being able to afford higher rents. They can't purchase, but they want to rent, and they want to rent a nice place. So typically our rental markets actually get quite strong in these type of purchasing, selling markets. Okay. So something to keep in mind for sure. We're seeing a lot of people where I think that everyone is just, following the crowds. This is one of the slides that I was showing at the presentation where, everyone was buying at the peak. So everyone was like, well, we need to buy, we need to hurry up, we need to get in now and they were spending, the highest dollar amount that we were seeing. And then instead of now where, the prices have come down and everyone's a little bit scared. So everybody else is also a little bit scared. And just following that crowd. So it's a good time to be savvy. It's a good time to still get out there. There's so many deals and opportunities out there, but you just have to keep plugging it away at it. One of our biggest things is, we go through those numbers with you, but you're not going to buy something that's not going to work. We're not going to, push you towards something just so that you make a purchase. So at the end of the day, we still make sure that everything works out, but don't be as scared as others are. This is a really, really good opportunity to be savvy and get out there. Okay. We were also talking a little bit about the importance of making sure that you're working with the right team. We just had a story that was mentioned to us about some buyers who had purchased a property. They did pay a bit of a higher premium for the property at the time, but their realtor had told them that this was the cost it was going to be for the renovations, and this was what you were going to get in your refinancing numbers afterwards, which was very attractive to them. And they went ahead with the purchase, only to find out through the process that the renovation was going to cost them actually quite a bit more than what they originally were told. And their refinance numbers are actually going to be a lot less than they were told, not only just because of the market, but because of the type of properties that they were looking into. They were looking at building a third unit on a property that wasn't going to get appraised the way that they thought it was. So a lot of those things to keep in mind when you're out looking for properties and making sure that you're working with the right people. Okay. Another interesting story that I was talking about, this was actually one that just was so rare and blew our mind, but I did have a client of mine who we had just purchased a property out by the lake, and this was a property that they were going to retire. And they have another property in Thorold that they had renovated. They were keeping. It was a buy and hold. They're very particular in doing everything properly. They don't waste time. They make sure that everything is right, because they want everything to be great, not only for the tenants, but again, they're going to hold this for a long time. Since we got this retirement lake property, it was a good opportunity for them to say, you know what, let's offload one of our properties. And this was one that they had decided to do. We had a couple bumps in the road, just timing. One of the tenants, it was tenanted in one unit, vacant in the other. The tenant had COVID, that delayed things. It was Mother's Day weekend. We had the May long weekend. And then we also had on the off weekend, the second weekend of May, we had new tenants moving into the basement. So there was always something happening, and it made it really difficult. So when we did list the property, my client had called me and said, you know what, change of plans. Can we just list it? This was on Wednesday. Can we list it on Friday? I was like, whoa, hold on. We've never listed a house in 2 days before. So a lot of work, hurried up, got it all done, was able to list it. Again, fell short of showings because it was Mother's Day weekend. We were delayed by 1 day, waiting for the tenant to be done their isolation period for their COVID. So we actually had no showings on the property. We had none. And then I had an agent that I've worked with before, and she had called me and said, is this still available? And I said, yes, it is. So they had offered on it. She has a really good relationship with her buyers, and they offered on it sight unseen. So the story in the end, it's actually just so crazy that the buyer didn't actually end up seeing the house. The agent didn't end up seeing the house, but because we had a strong working relationship, we know and trust each other. I 100% back up this property and these clients in this house. I know the work that they do. We've worked on other projects before. And then at the end of the day, I actually didn't even get out there to see it because we listed it so quickly. So anyway, it was just a real crazy story and interesting, but it's again, really important knowing that when you're working with people, you're working with us, like we have obviously a large network of other agents, not just on our team, but through our brokerage that we work constantly with, and we have really good relationships with. So we're able to get great properties just even in our own circle, which is really nice. So something to, just keep in mind when you're out looking for your team and your realtors and so on. So another property I wanted to discuss, this is something that we were showing that, there really is a lot of great deals that are still out there. So another colleague on my team had picked up this really great property on the West Mountain. And this one here is the asking price was $800,000. So we've already seen that the asking price has certainly come down from when it was in the peak. And there ended up being only 2 offers on the property. So that's what we're seeing, a lot less activity, maybe less offers, not the crazy prices that we were seeing before. So it's definitely calmed down. And out of those 2 offers, our colleague got the winning offer, and it was $830,000. So just a little bit over asking. This property here is going to be great for a legal duplex, and it's got really, really high ceilings in the basement. So that's going to feel great for the basement unit. Plus the lot is really big. It's a 50 by 120 size lot. So it definitely has some garden suite potential there, which is what this investor is looking at as well. So congrats to our team for that. So again, just getting out there, sticking with it, and you'll be able to find a lot of these deals. And then one last thing that I wanted to share with everybody that I was talking about at our meeting was what we called the unicorn property. So I have a client of mine, we've been working together for years. We were out looking at this property in Brantford. I actually don't even remember, but apparently he said that he didn't originally want to see this house because the upstairs was so nice. And I guess I pushed a little bit to go and still see it. And it's gorgeous. The owner there is a builder. They renovated the whole main floor and to the way they wanted it because they had planned on staying there. They had a great opportunity to move out east, so they took that and put this house up for sale. So the upstairs is absolutely gorgeous. Nothing to do up there, ready to rent. The basement already has its own duplex. Now it's not legal yet because that's what we're going to do. But because that builder knew the bylaws and the rules, he did everything to code. So this one actually has fire rated drywall, interconnected smoke detectors. The windows at the house are huge, so perfect for egress. It's a 2-bedroom, it's got its own kitchen, bathroom, living room. They separated the electrical panels. So everything is almost just ready to go as its own second unit. So that's fantastic. A lot less work that we have to do there. And then the bonus and the biggest part, the thing I'm most excited about is that there's a massive garage in the back. And this garage is about 600 square feet, and we're going to turn it into a garden suite. We're going to put 2 bedrooms in there. The thing that makes this the unicorn to me is that that garage already came with a furnace, water hookup, and gas lines, and a electrical panel of its own as well. So we actually just need to hook up the sewer. Obviously, it's not just, oh, we just need sewer. There's a lot more involved, but the costs are probably half the cost because of what we saved because it was already done in the garage. So we're super, super excited about this project. We're actually just going to be closing on it in the next couple of weeks, so then we can get all that started. But congrats to my client that, went out there. We got it for a great price. We ended up paying $875 for this house in Brantford. And we probably are looking about tops, I'd say maybe about 80K to put into it to finish legalizing the basement and then to do the work on the garden suite out in the back. So this one's going to be a really, really great property for our clients. But again, if you're not out there looking and if you're not taking the chances and you're not making the offers, you just don't know what's going to happen. And we were able to score this great property. So congrats to my client on that one as well. So we'll update you with more updates on how that turns out and the progress as well. So that's pretty much it from me. That was basically, in a quick nutshell, everything that we talked about at our last IWIN meeting. If you're looking for any more information or need any help with anything, feel free to reach out at any time, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to invest in real estate from scratch, my team teaches beginners how to use the #1 investment strategy that I personally use in a virtual free training class every month. Go to investortraining.ca/YouTube to register for our next class. That link's also in the description as well. I publish at least 2 to 3 videos a week here, so subscribe if you want to keep learning from seasoned investors like myself and my guests. And if you're just starting out, feel free to ask questions and comment below, and I do the best to answer each of those comments and questions myself. Again, if you're ready to learn the nitty-gritty about real estate investing from a professional investor, register for our next virtual class. That's at investortraining.ca/YouTube. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.